Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Oh, one moment. And enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Heart of Amethyst. So, I'm recording this at night. You guys know how it goes by now. I'm going to be a little quieter than normal, so let's just kick back and enjoy the rest of our evening, shall we? Guys, enjoy the video. Alarm Chen, you are up, and let's go. Okay. I dropped the letter on the floor. I think my eyes starting to tear up. I hold the book closer to my chest as if it was the replacement for the hug I so desperately needed. Why? Why did I ever get the old man involved in all this? I'm such an idiot. I'm the worst son anyone could ask for. You're a fool. Yes, I am. You'll be the reason for his death. I will. And then you'll be all alone. I'll die alone. Indeed. I start to cry. My legs give up on me and I end up on the floor. Screaming wouldn't solve a thing, but I really want to do that. Punching something wouldn't help either, but I feel like breaking everything around me. The voice in my head keeps on talking, injecting negative thoughts inside of me. But this time, I feel like I deserve it. I'm such a scumbag. A piece of trash that doesn't deserve happiness. I don't. Not one bit. You break everything you touch. You hurt everyone you know. Tell me, why should someone like you be alive at all? I don't know. Why am I alive? Why is this happening to me? You know why. Yes, I do. It's all my fault, as I keep on messing up every time. Maybe if I just... As my brain is about to take me even further down into the abyss, I hear a noise coming from one of the windows. It came from my room. I immediately compose myself and hide beside the doorframe, grabbing a candle that I found nearby and readying up for battle. The footsteps grow louder, and I even manage to hear a little humming on the other side. This person seems to be taking their sweet time checking out my room, but eventually I hear them stop in front of the door. Slowly the door creaks and opens. Nope. Smacked him with a candlestick. And as soon as this person comes out, I hit him hard in the head with the candle. He stumbles back and I grab him by the collar, pinning him on the wall. And to fuel my anger even more, I finally notice who he is. You little shit! Give me a fucking reason why I should break your neck right now! Puh! Wait, what? Wait, when did you come back? Oh boy, you should have told you. A reason, Pat! A fucking reason! Why are you here? The guy squirms as I push him harder into the wall. I have one of my arms on his little neck, while the other is holding the candle. I'm trying not to force myself too hard on him, giving him room to breathe and talk. I was just looking for the shop, of course. After all, no one was here. Someone had to take care of things. You fucking liar. I swear I'll kill you, man. Don't fuck with me. Okay, I'm just here to loot, White. I swear. The place was empty and even the door was left open. You bastard, what happened here? I don't know. Don't lie, Pat. I'm not. I swear. Even if you say that, I don't think I can trust a rat like you. After all, you and I still have some unfinished business between us. Why the fuck did you leave me like that there that day, huh? Why? If you'd been keeping watch as you were supposed to, none of this would have happened. None of it. The little guy seems like he's about to shit himself. He's trembling and won't even dare to look at me in the eye. I swear, White. I swear it wasn't intentional. He's lying. I know. He plotted against you, and he made you suffer. He did. It was his fault that all of this happened. Yeah, you're right. It is his fault. He should suffer. He should. But pal, you're too tight. White. The rage inside of me starts to build up as a hellfire. Unable to stop it, I press his little fragile neck even harder. I want to hurt him so bad. I couldn't care less about what he has to say. I'm not even thinking clearly at this point. You want to kill him? I do. Then do it. Kill him. I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. I lift the candle in the air. All the rage, sorrow, fright, and loneliness that I've been feeling this past month are gathering inside of me. I want to see him bleed, see him on the floor begging for his life. Make him suffer. Die! All of a sudden, I feel two strong arms wrap around my chest, keeping me locked in place. I look back and there I see Almond grabbing me with all his strength. I try to hit with my elbow as hard as I can, but he doesn't budge. Easy there, mate. Everything okay? Shh, just relax. Take a deep breath and relax. Almond's voice hits my right ear, and slowly I lose my grip on Pat. Little man drops on the floor, and for a moment, I fear that I've actually just killed him. All the anger quickly turns into horror as I picture myself as a murderer. Shh, it's fine. He's still breathing. You're okay. Almond moves with me a few steps back, and then he sits on the floor, still holding me in his arms. I just remain motionless in his embrace, not sure what to do or how to react. Love suddenly moves one of his hands to my head and starts to slowly pet it, making sure not to be too harsh. My breathing eventually starts to even out and my heartbeat goes back to normal. All the heat that I was feeling in my muscles gets replaced by the warmth of the embrace. Usually by now I would have pushed him aside or kicked him, but his hug... I really needed his hug. When I finally settle in, all the emotions that I was feeling overwhelm me and I can't help but cry. I almost killed someone. I'm a monster. No, mate, you ain't. It's normal to be angry. You're not a monster. I push my face into his chest and continue to crying. The sound of his heart helps to calm me down. His familiar scent makes me feel somehow protected. Is it weird that I find it pleasant? To be honest, I don't care right now. All I need is someone to hold into, to give me support. I don't want to hear that voice. I continue sobbing, wetting his fur with my tears. The wolf says nothing to this. He just continues petting my head as he uses his other hand to draw circles in my back. We stay like that for a while until Almond places his chin on top of my head and stops the movement of both of his hands. Do you want to talk about what happened? No, not really. Okay. He doesn't question me any further, and I can't be thankful enough for that as I wouldn't even know where to start explaining. That rage was mine, but amplified by 100. And at some point, I just acted like an animal, as if my brain shut off for good. Till Almond arrived, I was... Almond. He just saved me from myself, and I can't even talk to him. I owe him an explanation of what happened. That's the least I could do. Almond. Yeah? You promised not to judge me. I do. As I spoke, Almond didn't say a single word. He just remained there, his head on top of mine as he listened to my every word. Then when it was over, he hugged me tighter. I'm sorry I wasn't there sooner. It's not that, you idiot. I'm just glad you stopped me. If something like this ever happens again, don't hesitate to lean on me. I understand what you went through, mate. You should probably leave, though. Wouldn't want to be here when the Sleeping Beauty comes to. Yeah, it's probably for the best. Let me just... Before I can say anything, Almond grabs me in his arms and lifts me up with ease. Bride style. My cheeks immediately go fully red at this, and I hit him a few times in the head. The hell do you think you're doing? I'm just helping a lad in need. Feel like the good gentleman I am. I didn't ask for this. Put me down. Not a chance, mate. I got you now. And with that said, he takes his leave and out of the shop, away from Pat and all the anger. By the time we crossed the bridge to the higher city, some droplets of water had started to fall. I didn't think much of it at the time. After all, we were just 20 minutes away from the inn by foot. Unluckily for us, what looked like a minor drizzle turned into a downpour in a matter of seconds. Almond sadly had to drop me from his comforting arms so we could run all the way back to the inn. We ended up drenched nonetheless. That's why when the innkeeper saw us, he immediately told us to go get changed. But the bad thing is... What do you mean we don't have any spare clothes? I know I packed mine. I know, mate, but it ain't my fault. I just took someone else's luggage. That's entirely your fault, you idiot. Almond's ears drop as I make sure to voice my frustration, not caring one bit if the other guests hear us. I place my hand on my forehead and sigh deeply. How can he be such an idiot? I specifically told him to be careful with our things. Yet he insisted he had everything under control. And now here we are, with 4 expensive-looking dresses that probably belong to Dahlia. Someone is going to be mighty pissed. You think she will mind? Of course she'll mind, you idiot. You left her and us without clothing. She sent these beforehand so she could have something to change into for the dinner. I mean, we could ask one of the guards to deliver this to the castle. Still, she's going to have to find something to wear tonight. Ugh, I can already picture her yelling. Yeah, it won't be pretty, mate. And whose fault is that? I find myself getting irritated again, but this time I decide to just take a deep breath and calm down. What's done is done, and I've had enough negative emotions for one day. We'll have to wait for our clothes to dry, and we should ask the innkeeper if we can hang our wet clothes somewhere. Wait, mate, are you suggesting that we sleep naked? My heart skips a beat as I hear him say that. Ugh, why do my cheeks feel so hot all of a sudden? It's just Almond being an idiot as always. I can't let him get me like this. It's already bad enough that we have to share a bed. The innkeeper said that this was the best room he had. But he forgot to mention that he only had one bed. Of course not, you idiot. We'll just wear our underwear. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't think about that. He nervously chuckles as he scratches the back of his head. How could he be so cute and so horny at the same time? What is his secret? Or you could wear one of those. The wolf points toward the pile of pretty dresses. I look back at him with a raised eyebrow and a scowl. You can't be serious. I mean, you two are probably the same size, and I know how much you value your privacy and all. You've made yourself clear more than once. And the solution is wearing a lady's dress? It was just a thought, mate. Never mind it then. It's not like it wouldn't look too bad on you, though. He whispered that last part to himself, so that I did not hear it, despite standing right next to him. Why is he acting like this? Almond isn't usually this bashful. Could it be because he feels guilty for what happened to our clothes? Or maybe... No way. Is he nervous because we're sleeping together? That's just impossible. After all, he told me countless stories about his nights with other men and women, and he hasn't been subtle with the details, so why this change of attitude now? I want to ask him, so I open my mouth to speak, and... Excuse me, lads. The bath is ready. The innkeeper knocks on the door and makes us both jump in place. Almond immediately fixes his face and goes back to his usual behavior, looking at me with a pervy expression. Well, the moment is gone, I guess. So, shall we? Yeah, sure, let's just get this over with. I grab the knob and then open the door, letting him go first so I can properly close the door behind us. Can't wait to get into that hot tub. Oh, it's tubbing time, but don't you hop in this tub of mine. Ah, that sure felt great, didn't it, mate? He's not directly looking at me as he speaks, rather he's just staring at the window. I can't help but let out a relieved sigh as I decide to agree with him. There's nothing better than a nice relaxing bath after such a long and stressful day. Especially after what happened today. Goddesses know I needed it. And the innkeeper sure was right. That was one of the best baths I've ever been in. You been in many? I say, trying to keep the conversation alive. Almond turns around to meet my eyes, probably wanting to engage in the conversation properly. Oh, not at all, mate. I've been in, 5 inns in my whole life? I've never been a fancy lad. Is that so? What kind of lad are you, then? The dirty type, if you catch my drift. He starts to laugh as he sees my reaction to his comment. Oh, man, you're so easy sometimes, mate. It's really cute. Shut up. For once I was really trying to be nice. He chuckles again, turning his gaze down towards my, Hey, my eyes are up here! I instinctively cover my crotch, not wanting to give him the satisfaction, although he probably saw everything when we were bathing. Wolf turns his gaze back to my eyes, his cheeks turning a little red from embarrassment. I can't really help but feel a little exposed after that, so I turn my eyes away. Eyes to yourself? Yeah, I'm sorry. It was a reflex, I swear. He scratches the back of his head and looks away. There's a moment of silence between us, and he seems to be looking through me, lost in thought. You really are different, Wolf says out of the blue and looks up as he tries to change the subject. You like men, don't you? The bluntness of his question took me by surprise, but I immediately relaxed when I remember that he clearly knows about my tastes. Yeah, so? I thought we had established that already. I just wanted to hear you say it. There's another awkward silence between us. Look, if there's something you want to say, honestly, whenever I find another guy with the same taste as us, they often try to hook up with me on the spot. Wow, aren't you putting yourself on a pedestal? Hardly. I know how it sounds, but trust me, mate, I'm being as objective as possible. You see, there's a difference between you and me. I'm more open than most men about the stuff that I like, especially when it comes to sex. I'm pretty much an opportunity for any gay man that wants to have a good time. I say stuff like, this guy won't rat me out, this guy is an easy fuck, and I'll finally have fun after such a long time. I mean, if someone ever said something like that to him, they're not exactly wrong. He is way too careless about his sexuality, and that's not normal. Sure took me by surprise the first time he approached me. You know, most gay guys won't take that extra step to ask someone else for a hookup. It would put them at a disadvantage. After all, we gays are supposed to be secretive about what we want, right? So with all those secrets, you can never be sure if the other is gay, even if you suspect it. That's why I stopped caring about it a long time ago. Besides, keeping my emotions bottled up is not my style. If they want to fuck, then I'm down. They want to rat me out, then so be it. I take them on, screw the consequences. That's very brave of you. No, it ain't. It's stupid. I'm putting an unnecessary target on my head, and I'm sure that it'll bite me in the ass someday. Joke's on them, I'm actually into that. I remain quiet as the wolf talks, mostly because I don't know why he's telling me this, or where he wants to get with it. And if he's just venting, then so be it. I owe him that much. Anyway, I got out of track. What I'm trying to say is, I'm curious about you. Me? Uh-oh. Yeah, you. You didn't jump at the opportunity. You didn't use the free ticket like most do. It's not due to lack of opportunities. We've had those. Plenty, I would say. But you decided to rather become friends with me, and that's unusual. Well, what's wrong with wanting to be a little bit more reserved? I just didn't like the idea of to hook up with you out of the blue. Almond's eyes are kind, and his smile is sweet. The wolf leans over the edge of the window and stares me down with those green orbs of his. Besides, I feel like there are some things you're not telling me. You're such a mystery. Suddenly I feel really nervous. Does he mean my past? He's asked about it before, and I told him the story of me being Mr. Biscotti's apprentice. Looks like he didn't buy it. What do you... It's okay, mate. I like a good challenge. You piqued my curiosity, so I'll make sure to unravel the mystery that you are, Ellie. This is the first time I've heard him call my name like that. He's always used the mate when referring to me. I don't know why, but hearing it say it like that just feels good. Why am I saying this? It's just the horniness getting over my head. Anyway, mind fetching some water for me? I like having a glass by the table in case I get thirsty at night. He winks back at me, making sure to diffuse the heavy conversation we were just having. He's really good at doing that. That's exactly why I'm never sure how to read this wolf. Either way, I decide to do as he says and exit the room. As I walk back to our room, I encounter the innkeeper standing by the hallway. When he sees me, his ears perk up and he waves at me. I wave back as he approaches me. Sir, are you happy with your room? Is there anything I can do? Oh, not at all, sir. The room is great. No complaints at all. Although, thinking about it, one comes to mind. Except for the bed. You see, we're not that close to each other. There being only one bed made things a little inconvenient. Oh, by the goddesses! I'm so terribly sorry, sir. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm just saying for the next time. Alright, guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. If a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!